When I was younger, my favorite thing in the world was my Disney Princess backpack. While it was all the rage back in elementary school, this backpack doesn't work for me now. I realize this is because I've changed as I've grown, just like how the internet has changed as it's grown.
In 1996, the same year the Motorola StarTAC was flying off shelves, and years before social media went mainstream, we passed Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act.
But here's the way I think about it. If I rent a car from Hertz and I go run a bunch of red lights, then who's going to pay for those red light camera tickets? It's not Hertz, it's me.
Hate speech, violent content, that kind of thing. And you can take it down and elevate other posts. Together, these provisions allow for online services to hosts and moderate content without fear of being under lawsuit deluge. Unfortunately, a lot of the debate is basically on whether this is just a big windfall for big social media companies.
Section 230 is sometimes referred to as, I think, the 26 words that gave birth to the internet. It's a statute that provides immunity from civil liability and criminal prosecution for internet providers or service providers that publish information. And that's information that has been authored by somebody else.
And the idea is that, the New York Times, for example, they have the resources to go through every single letter to the editor and decide what to post. With the internet, part of what's cool about the internet is that there's so much material out there that there's actually not any ability to vet all of it. Section 230 promotes a marketplace of ideas. It allows more voices to be heard. Again, if these platforms had to go through every single thing that before they posted it, that would certainly stifle a lot of expression. So it's very pro free speech, put it that way.
The problem is misinformation can be so widely disseminated, and it's hard for the average voter to separate truth from fiction, especially when the information is, as I indicated, so widely disseminated. When people see things on Facebook, they assume that they're true, and they don't really have the time to go through and to check all the sources to make sure that the information that they're seeing is in fact true.
The cost would just be so high of limiting it or amending it or overturning it because, like I said, there's so much good content out there that we want to let through.
Being a school board member, I understand its purpose. I understand that Section 230 exists to promote the free exchange of ideas without the concern of civil and criminal responsibility. However, I think that the absence of any responsibility whatsoever allows companies who run social media platforms to make trillions of dollars, while at the same time, lives can be absolutely ruined.
Nohemi Gonzalez was a student at Long Beach State University and was studying abroad in Paris in the fall of 2015. And on the night of November 13th, she was shot and killed during a coordinated series of ISIS attacks throughout the city. After these tragic events, the Gonzalez family decided to sue Google/YouTube because of the YouTube algorithm recommending ISIS propaganda videos to people. They also claimed that because of this, YouTube viewers were being fed this information and getting the idea to perform terrorist acts themselves.
I would strongly suggest that the legislation be changed so that in instances where social media platforms or other news platforms act recklessly, in complete disregard for the truth, and allow misinformation to remain on their platforms.
As Twitter gave users the ability to buy that blue check mark for their profiles for $7.99 a month without having to provide identity verification.
And when that misinformation hurts people, in my view, they should be held at least civilly liable.
Even though Section 230 remains a vital factor to the wide network the internet is today, some changes are needed. The internet now isn't what it was nearly 30 years ago, and this legislation was put in place before social media was as big as it is today. Allowing social media companies to be held responsible for just the content they amplify versus all content posted on their website is a stepping stone that's already being discussed by lawmakers. Maybe they started to realize that the internet, like me and my backpack, has changed tremendously over the years.